It is March 14th, 2026, and we are in Ramona, California with a very special person here. We finally were able to get this interview, so I'm so honored and thank you. And you are?
I am Sujhey. I am Miss Rodeo California 2026.
And tell us about yourself.
I am born and raised here in San Diego County. I've lived here for my entire life except for when I went off to college. So I attended Cal Poly San Luis Obispo for both my bachelor's and master's. I obtained my bachelor's in animal science and I got 4 minors. That was all in 2024. And in 2025 I wrapped it up and got my master's in agriculture education.
And were you queens in the pageantry and the other rodeos throughout the county over the last years?
I actually got my start a little bit too late in rodeo queening. I never really had the confidence. I've always attended the Lakeside Rodeo, the Poway Rodeo, and I thought it was so amazing. How amazing do those girls look in the arena? But I thought I could never do that. I didn't have the confidence and I could never figure out how to start. So I started working at Boot Barn and I met a coworker who her daughter was an amazing rodeo queen. And from there, the stories, experiences, exchange, and just the conversations had, it was pretty life-changing. So I reached out to her daughter and we talked, and I ran for my first pageant in 2022, but I got my first title in 2023 as Miss Rodeo Norco.
Okay, and so being Miss Rodeo California, what is, you have to be all over the place, right? And probably getting together with the other states, right? When they have regional things and whatever they do, conference, whatever. So do you have a scheduler or a sponsor? How does that work, and what is a typical week like?
It's a little interesting. So I will say I am very grateful because my start for my year, I started off in Red Bluff. From there I went to San Diego Rodeo, so in my own hometown, on my own horse, was pretty unique. And then the fun stuff came. I went to Denver, I went to South Dakota, and then I went off to Florida. And I finally came back, did a few things in Bishop and Bakersfield, and now I'm here in Ramona. But I do have an amazing human being. She's my national director, and she helps me just schedule everything, get it all written down, get all the paperwork in, and then from there we put it in a Google Calendar just so we have everything lined up from the social media. I have another amazing human being that helps me out with that portion too, so then we schedule everything, get it organized, makes my life so much easier. So I am very blessed and thankful for everyone on my board, but those 2 gals, they really make the year extra special.
So being what you do, what you're crowned through the end of this year, right? Can you hold like a regular job or does that preclude it because you're traveling all the time, right?
So I actually was already working as a full-time agriculture teacher, so I was teaching high school students. But unfortunately, I had to make some life choices, and I decided to put all my faith together, work very hard, and prepare for Miss Rodeo California. So I decided to take a step away from teaching, and I'm right now just working a regular retail job. So I am working in the fashion industry, you could say, and so it's very great because they're part-time, so they're very flexible with my schedule, and they also support me. So I did have to take a step back from the full-time side of things. I know other state queens do it, but I think they're incredible and crazy for that. But it's kind of a little bit hard balancing being Miss Rodeo California and a full-time job. So I decided to play it safe and just have a part-time job.
And so, hey, what is the biggest challenge you have, or any young woman in this position? What is the biggest challenge you have, and how do you address that?
Honestly, I would just say having confidence 24/7. Sometimes little things and hiccups happen here and there that sometimes I question things or I'm worried about it, but I just have to remind myself, just having the confidence that I have one of the most amazing support systems, that I'm pretty smart and I make wise choices, but just honestly having that confidence to be able to execute everything. I've been all the way up at Bakersfield and Bishop by myself and just having to navigate the hotels, the different streets, and getting around and getting to the rodeos, but all the way going to Florida and just figuring out all that scheduling and just really having that confidence to navigate through life as Miss Rodeo California.
So you have time to see your folks and family and friends, or maybe?
Well, if you ask me where do I live, it's that's a great question. So I live with my parents 5 days out of the month probably.
Oh,
Most
wow.
of the time I am traveling or just going somewhere. I am lucky that March is my slow month, so that's why I put my fundraiser in this month. But I am gone for 3 weeks back to back in April, so it'll be pretty fun.
So who do you have to pay for all that travel, or it's out of your own finances?
So
Oh boy.
The biggest
glass
thing?
vases falling over. So how does that work? You have to fundraise, right?
Yes, so today specifically, we are having my fundraiser for my year as Miss Rodeo California. All of the funds goes into helping me cover any sort of cost, preparing for Miss Rodeo America, and just being able to like get through life with the normal bills and just covering every single different asset. I do have that part-time job, it does help out, and sometimes we have sponsors that also help us out, and certain rodeos will hire me, so I do get a little bit of my transportation costs covered.
So hey, let me ask you, what would be your message to girls, young people, girls, very young women, you know, who have an interest, and you were very forthright. You talked about your confidence. You started a little bit later, but look where you're at, right? And the future. So what message would you have for girls who are thinking about, you know, they go to rodeos with their parents or their friends and they say, oh wow, look at that queen over there, or look at that Miss Rodeo here, pageantry, whatever. What message do you have for girls who dream to be a rodeo queen and where you're at today?
So on my autograph sheets, I always write one message that's pretty simple, but it means something to me. I always tell the girls, and even the cowboys, anybody, I tell them dream big and always reach for the stars. Because for me that's very significant, as you never know what is going to happen in life, and if you dream big, you never limit yourself. 5 years ago, if you would have told me I'd become Miss Rodeo California, I would have laughed at you. I would have said, I'm never going into rodeo queening. I do not understand that world. I think it's great, but I will never see myself there. And so now just being able to be Miss Rodeo California the past 3 months, it's really inspiring. And just how much you could do for the future generation, both of the youth and just of agriculture.
And then, obviously, I mean, besides being crowned, you know, Miss Rodeo California, I mean, and representing the state rodeos, which is an honorable, wonderful opportunity. Besides that, what was your greatest defining moment once you got crowned? What was your, I mean, I'm sure you have them all the time, every day. You meet thousands of people, young people, older people, all kinds of people. What was your most defining moment after you were crowned?
Well, I will say it was right before I got crowned.
Well, it might be two things or three, but good.
It was probably 30 seconds right before that my mind was truly blown away. So before the pageant, I spent 2 months away with one of my friends, and she really helped me prepare, just get everything situated together. And for me, it's very important to like work on my C and have the strongest horsemanship as I could. So I was riding all sorts of horses for 2 months. I even rode a mule named Poncho. He was probably the funnest one. But honestly, just really worked hard for it. And I was really happy with my patterns and how everything went for horsemanship and the interview portion, but I didn't know where I would fall on the scale. When they called my name for that part of the pageant, my mind went away. I didn't believe it. I thought it was insane, and I was just happy and proud of myself because a goal that I had that I thought I couldn't accomplish, I finally accomplished it. So just being able to win that title at the state level truly, truly made my heart burst in many ways.
What are your plans for the future?
Well, in December, I get to compete for the amazing title of Miss Rodeo America. It's insane just to say that, and it's such an honor. But I am so excited and starting to prepare, gather all sorts of outfits, just get all the motivation to get going. But I will be running for Miss Rodeo America in the winter.
That'd be December, did you say, or
yes,
would that be before your the duration of your crown, or what?
So I give up my title on December 31st of this year. And so we do have our pageant up in San Luis Obispo. It is November 5th through the 7th, so anyone is welcomed. I would love to see as many people there, especially from San Diego County. But I give up my title until December 31st, and we have the Miss Rodeo America pageant from the day after Thanksgiving is probably when girls leave, so it starts on that Saturday, and then it ends until that first Sunday of NFR.
And then how competitive is Miss Rodeo California and Miss Rodeo USA? Can you kind of briefly discuss those two things?
There are two different associations. So Miss Rodeo USA represents the IPRA, so she has this whole other job of doing different representations for those rodeo. And the past queen is such an amazing human being. I really look up to Megan, so I adore my friend. But Miss Rodeo California falls under the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. So we work on going to different rodeos within the PRCA, representing throughout our state, and doing our best job to truly just keep advocating for agriculture and rodeo.
Okay. And before before we wrap this up, is there any message you'd like to give the greater community and the state, but specifically the greater East County area that we all live in?
I just truly want to say thank you to everyone who supported me, whether it's been with something as small as a raffle ticket or any sort of donation for my very first pageant in 2022, all the way to getting me to the stage of Miss Rodeo California and now Miss Rodeo America. Just truly thank you. I know that without my East County family, I'd be nowhere. Today is a very great example of it. I got so many donations, and I'm so grateful for all the people in East County, specifically Ramona, Lakeside, even all the way up to Riverside. So many amazing people, so just truly thank you. And for all the cowgirls and cowboys, never give up. You never know where life is going to take you, so always shoot big and dream big.
Okay. Well, I thank you so much.
Thank you.